Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be talking about breeding snakes and is it worth it? So last year I made a video about getting into breeding, buying snakes and all that stuff. So now that I've actually had the experience of one season of breeding, I think I could talk to you guys about my own experience and how it went and how it's going, and just let you guys know my future plans on that. So this is Mountain Dew. She was a female green anaconda, and she had some issues in her early days. Thought she was not going to make it, but giving her medicine, which was not exciting or pleasing for both of us, she obviously bounced back. She has a little bit of slow growth on her because of her little issue, but now she's doing very well, eating well, and just trying to get some weight back on her healthily. I don't know if that's a word, the right way, not pumping her full of food. And she's in shed, so we'll hang out with her for as long as she can handle it. And if she gets a little nippy, then we'll put her back. So, getting into breeding or getting into buying snakes, I went pretty heavily into it, and I bought at the peak of the ball python market. I know a lot of you guys did the same, but I decided to go a different route than a lot of other people did. And I think I went the route, well, yeah, I could say it like that. So, I'm not throwing out real numbers out there, but, I had $50,000 to spend on snakes, and I bought maybe 15 to 20 snakes of high quality animals at the time. Now they're still high quality, they're just not as high quality as they were, because now everybody got into the ball python thing. So instead of taking $50,000 and buying 200 or 300 snakes from people's collections that were selling out, or single genes and double sings with a bunch of heads or no recessives, like I see a bunch of people are doing, I just bought all visual recessives, all multi-gene clowns and all multi-gene pieds, and then I bought one visual clown pied, but then I have one head, so we'll talk about that. So I went around knowing that I was going to be buying expensive snakes and then making more high dollar snakes than what I really could have done, because I know I could have done this and bought 100 snakes or 200 snakes, fed all those every single week, spent a bunch of money on rats, producing snakes at $150 and under and selling them very quickly, barely making back the rat food every single week, and the ones that I can't sell, holding them back and then not being able to purchase the rats and the electricity and the water and all of that stuff. So instead of selling 3, 4, 5 snakes a month at $50 to $100, I decided the route that I could sell 1 or 2 snakes a month, or one snake every month at $300 to $600, $700, $800 or $1,000. So try to go that route, and it is very tough to find people who are wanting to spend that kind of money. My name's not really out there as a big breeder, or very well known. I do have a very small following on YouTube, very small following on Facebook and Instagram, but I do have some quality, I think I have some quality animals on there that people just have not seen yet. And of course I obviously held back the best ones that I bred last year. So basically I went into this and I bought basically from the top breeders. I bought from John Trosmer, Rice Reptiles, Canova, and then I got just very few snakes from Wilbanks, I think 2 snakes from Ball Pythons 101. Great quality animals to try to make good quality babies. Now I'm not putting out any of the smaller breeders because I am one. We can make fantastic babies. I'm not saying that big breeders aren't, skimping out on their animals, on their babies. I do see more issues with some people that have the $100 and less animals where they don't eat, they're sick, they have mites, they just have problems. So that's kind of like why I stayed away from that. But then again, you also have a few bigger breeders that when they do breed, they barely feed their babies, so they stay smaller longer. So they have that baby effect. And then when you get them, they're not the same size. They're actually smaller than what was presented as a weight on Morph Market or another site. So again, when you're trying to sell babies, they try to keep them as babies as long as possible because they're cuter and then they sell better, and then it's easier on their wallet. So if they have, these are mass producing big time breeders doing 2, 3, 4, 500 clutches, it saves them money not paying all of that money to feed these babies every week like they're supposed to. So they'll feed them every 2 to 3 weeks. Is it right? No. Do they do it? Yeah. Do they get a pass because they have a big name? Yes. So you got to be careful even on the bigger breeders with the smaller breeders on who's ethical and who has good, clean animals. So do your research, look into the animals. There's a ton of sites on Facebook that you can go on there and you can ask, is this a good breeder? Does anyone have any issues with this breeder? Most of them are pretty honest about it, saying, hey, we bought a lot of snakes from this guy. They're totally honest. Or, hey, I got a snake from this one. It had mites. It had RI. It's not eating and it died within 3 weeks and they wouldn't help me out. So be aware of that when you're getting into this. So last year I bred, I forget how many I actually bred. I think I bred like 7 or 8 snakes. And then I got 5 actual ones to lay. So one of them laid 4 eggs. 3 were bad from the get-go. And then one was looking really iffy. So I put it in an incubator and then it went to full term. And it came out of the egg with a shrunken in skull with tiny eyeballs. It was a phenomenal looking clown. Beautiful markings, awesome colors. If it was a female, I would have kept it for future breeding. But since it was a male, I didn't need it. Although I kind of do wish I kept it since it was really awesome. But I ended up giving it away for free to a coworker. And as of today, that one is thriving and eating very well. So, instead of calling it off or trying to sell it for cheap, I just gave it for free just because of ethical reasons on that. So my plan of this year, so last year I had maybe I think 14 babies. And, selling them's hit or miss. You might sell one every month. This is just my experience. I know some people are pushing a ton of snakes out, which is congratulations on that. But, I went months without selling anything. I'm still feeding them weekly. I'm still watering them. I'm still cleaning them. So that's kind of like what you have to get into. So I was very male heavy. So I did keep the females, the best gened females. But I think it's tough selling males. And so that kind of sucks when you are male heavy. So, from 14, from August, September-ish area, until now I have 3 left. 3 males. They are multi-gene clowns, multi-gene pieds, but I don't need them, so I'm trying to sell them. So I think, going from that, from what I started with to now, it's not terrible. So first year, not too bad. Obviously, everybody wishes they could sell everything within a week that they have so they could get their money and then have no extra expense on the feeding the babies or cleaning them up and stuff like that. But it is nice to see them grow up, and if they don't sell them, they don't sell. Then they're stuck with extra pets or ones that you can put in a rotation for breeding. And then, everybody knows about tire kickers and people that are asking a bunch of questions and then never buy one. And then you have the low ballers and stuff like that. So I had multiple people on a few snakes on, $500, $600 animals that I had that wanted to give me $300 with free shipping, $250 with free shipping. Now shipping has gone up. What I've noticed, shipping prices are anywhere between $80 to $120 without insurance. So it's really tough when you take off that chunk of money from the top on a snake. So you're losing that, and then when you're losing out on $100 on shipping, when they get a $600 animal for $300, which is actually $200. So I had a couple people say that. I had a couple people offer me some stuff that I really didn't want. So I just held on to them. And then a month later, somebody paid me full price of what I was asking with, what I do is I normally do, if they're willing to pay full price or reasonable offers, I will do $50 on shipping, even if shipping is $100 to $100 or $80 to $100. I'll just do the $50 and then I'll eat the rest. Just kind of like that, because normally when you say somebody, hey, shipping's $100, they back out anyways. Which I think if you're paying $600, $500, or any money on a snake, you should be able to pay for the shipping on that. But I get it. I just do 50 just to make it fair and just a flat rate. But, it doesn't go into expensive. The boxes, the heating pads, and the bags. So, off the top, you're losing money selling a snake anyways. Because I don't know anybody that actually adds in all that stuff. But if you do, then you do. And if you do free shipping on all your animals and you just eat the entire cost, then, hey, good on you. So, yeah, you can either sell your snakes cheaper than everybody else on Morph Market, kill the value on the other snakes that are on there, get a whole bunch of people mad at you, but hey, you made your money and you sold your snakes. Or you can put it up there, take a couple of low balls, get rid of your animals, or you can hold strong and say, hey, I think my snake is worth $400 or $500, or whatever you have it at, and somebody will come around and buy it, whether it's today or 3 months from now when you're still feeding it and caring for it, but you're going to get your money that you asked anyways. So you as a business person, or how you want to run your business, that's up to you. So I held my ground on a few snakes, and it took me maybe a month or 2 months to get what I wanted, but I got what I wanted, and then I didn't settle because I feel like I take care of my snakes very well. They're in great health, they eat well, and there's no reason to drop my prices because somebody cannot afford it. So yes, there's other snakes that might be up there cheaper, but they're probably selling those snakes because they're either getting out, they're flippers, it's a sick animal, or some other financial reason which they shouldn't be breeding in the first place. But that's none of my business. So if there's a snake that's cheaper and then your snake, and somebody wants to say, hey, this guy has it for X amount, will you match it? No, but I'll do a little bit better on this side of the angle. If they don't want to do that, then they don't do that. There's plenty of people out there in this world that will pay good amount for your snake if they feel you take care of your animals and you have healthy animals and you have clean animals, and they know from whatever social media that you have that you actually take care of your animals rather than just neglecting them or being a flipper, which flipping's fine. I'm not going to get into that, but there's a lot of bad people out there that flip animals. But anyways, this year I've got maybe 17 or 18 females that are breeding. I think I have 2 that might be dropping eggs within the next month, and we'll see how that works out. Again, I'm very new at this. I picked out all the snakes that I like to see every single time that I open these tubs. I didn't follow a trend because trends sway every which way every 6 months to a year. So clowns are cool, pieds are cool. Next year, nobody might like pieds. Nobody might like clowns. Everybody wants triple hets, which is a couple codoms or a normal triple hets. And then everybody's going to go that way and nobody's going to care about the visual stuff. So instead of buying what the trend is and opening drawers and be like, I really don't like this animal, but it's going to give me money in 2 years, and that 2 years comes around when it lays eggs, that trend is gone, and now you're stuck with a bunch of snakes that you really don't like looking at. So, if I breed this year and, I don't sell anything for a business standpoint, or I can't financially do it, then instead of selling off an entire collection, I'll just not breed, and I'll just keep these as pets and enjoy them for what they are, and initially why I bought them, because I like looking at them and I like caring for them, I like hanging out with them. So it's been an interesting road to breeding. It's cool to breed. It's awesome to cut eggs. It's awesome to see the possibilities of what you can get. There's always the disappointment of getting what you don't want. But it's still fun to cut eggs and to see what's going on with them. Do I know where the market is going on the ball pythons? No idea. Every couple of years it seems to collapse and everybody freaks out and sells out and all this other stuff. And then it bounces back and everybody's happy again. But yeah, I'm just enjoying it right now. Enjoying the snakes, enjoying the pairings and the breedings. And that is really it. So it's kind of like, will I ever make my money back getting into this? Maybe, maybe not. But if you do it for the money, you're not going to enjoy the process. And then you're just going to get aggravated. And then you're just going to sell your collection like I see a lot of people doing. A lot of people have bought in with 100 snakes, 200-300 snakes of basic animals. You're paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year on food. And when you finally do get eggs and you get your yellow belly selling for $45, You get a bunch of normals and a whole bunch of single gene stuff that's all under 80 bucks, plus all the equipment to sell it. I mean, I can see why a lot of people do sell out quickly, because you're not making back that rat bill selling single gene stuff unless you're selling 1,000 of them. Now, granted, I did have a whole clutch of albinos, single albinos, 150 bucks. I think I had 4 of those, 4 or 5. Yeah, they were gone within a month, but you know, that paid my rat bill, which I don't have that many animals. So I think I pay about 120 to 150 a week. And that's including the jumbos and the extra large rats for the anacondas. But like, I couldn't do that if I had 200 snakes of even $100 animals. I just couldn't do it. But those of you that are grinding it out, I applaud you for that. But again, I see people with $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 animals that they're not selling either. So it's a very interesting, road to go down and to try to figure this out. So if you want to get into breeding, go for it. You're not stepping on anybody's toes getting into the hobby. Just make smart decisions. Look at the market now. Look at how the market you think it's going to be going into. Buy animals that will be worth something in a couple of years. Everything depreciates, everything lowers on value, but try to get something that is more valuable than just putting together a pastel and a blitz or a yellow belly or a pastel and I don't even know, a normal. Like, just, I don't know why people do that. Sure, you can get $25 for it, but I don't know. I don't get it. But, you know, spend $5,000 on an animal and then in 2 years it's only worth $2,000. It's still $2,000. It's not getting into this with $150 animals and then they turn out to be $40 animals. You know what I'm saying. Be smart about it. If you have to go take out a loan, I don't know, that's probably for something else, but get what animals you like and what you think you're going to get your money back on. Or if you don't get your money back on, just get what you like seeing every single day. I don't know if people are buying into the market because of what's popular and then it changes and then people just get out. Or if people just think I'm just going to breed a whole bunch of snakes and because I can have 200 clutches or 200 eggs, I'm going to make a whole bunch of money, because obviously that's not how that works. You can look at Canova, you can look at Rice Reptiles, you can look at all these other big named people, and they're still sitting on animals from last year, 2022, that they're not selling. So even the big name people are still sitting on animals. Yeah, they can afford it, but can you, as a smaller breeder, afford to be sitting on 30 extra animals, 40 extra animals that aren't selling, plus your rat bill on those? So I think we need to cool it on buying out hundreds and hundreds of collections that people are just dropping and thinking that we're going to get super rich off of them. If you can make your ends meet, by all means, do what you got to do. And that's good, though. So that is it. I'm going to keep on pressing on with the breeding. We'll see how this year goes. So far, I've been breeding since November, and I've only had 2 that could possibly give me eggs within a month. So I don't know what's going on with the females or the males. They're just not ovulating. I don't have an ultrasound, so it's just a huge guess. But on that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing Mountain Dew right here. And we'll hopefully have some more videos up for you guys very soon.